everybody? Welcome to a special new video today. I hope y'all are having a wonderful Thursday, May 28th. So if any of y'all have not been living under a rock or haven't saw my channel, and surprisingly if you have saw my channel, you undoubtedly know that the Nerf Mega Series is my favorite Nerf line of all time. I'm even wearing a red shirt, red sunglasses, and even have a red curtain behind me. There's a lot of great lines in Nerf, some good, some bad, some mediocre, but the Mega Series always holds a special place in my heart. The Mega Series is more of a fun, goofy line, more than practical competitiveness. I've been in the Nerf hobby for 6 years now. I don't really know how to mod, I'm not good at engineering, I just know the blasters. I just like to mess around, casually hang out with them. I'm just an idiot who knows about this stuff. And the first blaster I got was the Nerf Elite Disruptor, and then the second one, which that was the one that got me into the hobby. It was the first Mega Blaster I've got. I'm gonna be doing a tier list, all of the 17 blasters that have came out. Yes, there's 17, there are more Mega Blasters, but I'm talking about the ones from the initial Mega Series, from the main series. We're not including the Fortnite blasters, the Roblox blasters, the Minecraft blasters. We're not including any of that stuff. Of course, we have our normal tier list set up as you see in tons of videos. You've got S tier being the absolute best, or I should say supreme. You got A tier being great, but not the best. I'd say that's amazing. You got B tier blasters that are above average, but just not quite there yet to the level of greatness. You got C, which is okay, you know, middle of the road. You got D, which is do not buy, but it's not the worst thing ever. And then of course you've got F tier, the lowest of the low, bottom of the barrel, complete failure. I don't include E tier. I just have S, A, B, C, D, and F. This is not going to be in order of the Mega Blasters of release years. No, this is actually going to be in order of how I collected these blasters. So, my first being the very first Mega Blaster I've collected, say second being the second Mega Blaster I've collected, all the way to the last. So it's gonna be a good order. I'm gonna tell you the complete order before we get to the list. This was the first one I got. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Yeah. And 15. Yes, I have the Nerf Mega Hot Shock now. I just got this one. And this is the one I was predicting I was going to get next. Yes, I do not have every single Mega Blaster. I need 3 more to go. I need the Hot Shock, Lightning Bow, and the Bulldog. I'm kind of excited for the Hot Shock. I'm kind of mad about the Bulldog and the Lightning Bow. That thing's terrible. I'm not excited to get the Lightning Bow, but for collecting purposes, you know, I could be wrong. I might enjoy it. I do enjoy a lot of bad blasters I use, but that is pretty much the only Mega Blaster that I do not like. So, kickstarting our tier list, we have the 2019 Nerf Mega Megalodon. This was the very first Mega Blaster I've got my hands on. Of course, I said this is the one that got me into the hobby. I've explained this in several videos, and we're already starting off with a banger here. This is a 20-round drum-fed or cylinder-fed blaster from the Mega Series that has this top prime / lever / crank style system that flames Mega at decent velocities. It's a bit slower than a lot of other Mega Blasters, but it is just a joy to use. It's a little hard to do, but the drum is also removable, making these hot swappable. You can 100% use multiple drums. You can use this thing as a shield buster. This is one of the few practical blasters in the Mega Series. It's a ton of fun to use, and the best part about it is slam fire. Out. Super fun to use, very good blaster. It is the size of this thing is compact. It might not look like it, but compared to this chunky boy, it absolutely is. This thing is minuscule, and just awesome that you can remove the drum. You can make this thing more space efficient for storage. It is just an overall awesome blaster. The Nerf Mega line in the end towards 2018, 2019, 2020 had some very rough blasters, but this was the best one out of that entire span, and this thing is just super special. Even if I did not have these awesome memories of this being the blaster that got me into the hobby and opening this thing up for Christmas Eve of 2019, I still think the Megalodon is S tier worthy. I was gonna put it in A tier, but even objectively, this thing is just amazing. Megalodon, S tier. Well done. Second blaster, we have the Nerf Mega Cyclone Shock. Megalodon for Christmas Eve of 2019. I got this on January of 2020 by Walmart. And this blaster, my opinion might surprise y'all a bit, but I think the Cyclone Shock is not as good as people say it is, because this thing has issues. For one, even not after a lot of use, the cylinder rotation and the prime just don't work. The cylinder rotation stops after a bit. I've gotten 4, 5 of these. Cylinder rotation stopped working after a couple of months. I got one near Christmas of 2020. The cylinder rotation stopped working on that after a couple of days. I got one for my friend in 2021. The rotation of the cylinder stopped working after a couple of months. And of course this thing, I got this one specifically from January 11, 2023. This is a special one to me, because this is one of the very first blasters I got when I moved here in Arizona on January 10, 2023, which is the day I got my absolute favorite pistol of all time, the Dartzone Blitzfire. Even if you try to modify it, if you try to get this thing to work, it just fails. It's not like, when you're in the mood and when it works, but it's very hard. What I think about this one. Ergonomic wise, this thing is absolutely amazing. The grip is one of the best grips I've ever got my hands on. It even looks really good. The top prime is nice and big, smooth, works really well, and it looks cool. The shell looks good. The plastic quality is on par with the standard Nerf blasters back then, so really good. It looks cool. It takes Mega Darts, it's basically the Mega Strong Arm, Mega Disruptor. I love this handguard. I love this foregrip. It's just all but the functionality, which really drives it apart. Mine, when I prime it, the cylinder just does not rotate. It has good performance. My good buddy Tesla's Nerf Room, a while ago, he did a Nerf Mega tier list, just really explains why the Cyclone Shock falls flat in a lot of areas. I just think the Cyclone Shock falls in B tier. I'm sorry guys, y'all might have one that works, but there's just, I don't want to speak just for myself. I don't want to be biased. I want to be completely objective. It's fun, it's a good blaster, but its issues just really deteriorate from its true greatness up in A or S tier. So I think the Cyclone Shock belongs in B tier. I think it's a firm B tier. I know Tess put it in C tier, and I was kind of leaning on that, but I think B tier is where it's at. If you can really get this thing to work, it's either A or S. I've had great experiences with it, but also not so great experiences with it. B tier. Hey, look at that! The third Mega Blaster I've gotten, the second to last blaster that's ever came out in the Mega series, the third AccuStrike blaster. There's 3 Mega AccuStrike blasters, 2 I have, 1 I'm missing, and in my opinion, I think this is the best one. It's just a big shot with a slightly different shell, with an extra dart storage, but I think it's a really good, compelling blaster. Now, it doesn't do anything super spectacular, it's just very simple, but I feel like that's what's good about it. The grip could be better, it's kind of jolt style. If you're not tightly holding onto it, it is serviceable. I like this grip guard, I like this translucent piece of plastic. It's not really much to talk about, but it's solid. Prime it like that from the bottom, and you fire. The performance is definitely better than a big shot. I think it's better than the hot shot. overall, I think the Talon is well worthy of A tier. It does what it's supposed to do, very competent, it has good performance, you got 2 darts for storage, it looks cool, and you can do some cool mods with it. So, Cyclone Shock, Talon, I give this thing a big win at A tier, definitely better than a Big Shock. When it comes to the 4th Mega Blaster I got, meet the Heavy. This is the Nerf Mega Mastodon from 2016, and the Mega Mastodon is just huge. Excuse me for the fact that my carry handle is kind of ripped off of here. I got this thing at a yard sale, but the carry handle does not affect anything about the blaster of its functions. But wow, this thing is big, it is heavy. I feel like that's some of the cons. It's very cumbersome for new players, even for adults. You know, they put a sling that came with this thing because of how heavy it is. And it takes 6D batteries to power up. This is the first flywheel blaster in the Mega Series, and it's the only fully automatic blaster in the Mega Series. And it carries a capacity of 24 darts, but those 24 darts end rather quickly. Its rate of fire is not the fastest thing ever. It's about Rapid Strike, kind of higher, but it is so fun to use. It is very easy to single shot it. You do some burst shots. Fully automatic. I don't think the capacity is too low as many people says, because 24 darts for a Mega Blaster is no slouch, but I just think there's just too much wasted space here, and with the sheer heaviness and the amount it weighs, it kind of detracts and limits the amount of people that can have fun and enjoy this thing. They might not like the juggernaut look, they might not like the fact that the grip is way smaller than the blaster itself, and this is not practical for war. But it is rather indeed so much fun to use, and I always get a joy and a smile using this thing. But I definitely don't think it's S tier. I don't even think it's A tier. I think this blaster is B tier, high B tier at best. I mean, a lot of people would say this is C tier, you know, D tier, but for me, this is a B tier blaster. That's where I'm putting the Mastodon at. The 5th blaster in the Mega Series I got was the Mega Magnus, and in my opinion, I think this is the best Mega Pistol in the line. I mean, this thing outplays the Cyclone Shock, it outplays Talon in so many ways, because not only it came out after the Centurion, it blew it out of the water when it came to performance, but it also is one of the best performing blasters in the Mega line. It offers a 3-round internal magazine that might be 3 less than the Cyclone Shock. I don't think that this thing has any issues whatsoever, except for the fact that maybe if you prime it on the back, this top slide is going to loosen up, the screw's going to get worse, and you might break it like that. But if you just, I have tape around there, and I just hold it from the top, so I can keep this part of the plastic together. But I think the Magnus is just sweet. Very easy to load inside of the internal magazine. Prime it. This is a 2014 release out of Hasbro, and back then, Hasbro really cared about putting paint on both sides, because almost everything is painted on both sides. The Mega logo is painted on both sides. The white striping is painted on both sides. It can fit into a holster, unlike the Cyclone Shock, due to the fact that the Cyclone Shock is a lot more wider. Just check out that performance. The ergonomics and handling of the Magnus are really good. The grip is nice and comfortable. I don't think it's too small. This top prime is huge. Anybody can get a grip on it. There is a techno at the bottom. The internal magazine is easy to feed for most of the time, or for the most part. Don't worry, I promise there will be a couple of stinkers on this list, but I think the Magnus is absolutely S tier. This beats the Cyclone Shock. I think this beats every other Mega Pistol out there. It looks really cool, especially from the front, and once again, holsterable as heck. Not super compelling or much to talk about, but Not much to talk about, it's very simplistic, and it just happened to get heavy. But the Mega Big Shock does have quite a bit to offer. It's basically just a Mega Jolt. The grip is very similar and identical to the Jolt. It's definitely not super comfortable, but if you don't tightly hold it, it is serviceable, and it does get the job done. It is cheap though. This is a 2015 release. This is a 2020 release. It definitely doesn't have it doesn't have the extra storage, of course. It's a lot smaller, and this also has a gray trigger version. Yes, a lot of blasters from different countries, like Australia, have gray trigger versions, and the internals are a lot different to minimize the power and walls and stuff like that. I'm not really going to get into that. But a lot of blasters in the US have orange trigger models, but I've never seen an orange trigger model of this blaster. I've seen images with an orange trigger version, but all of these are gray trigger versions. I don't think there's even an orange trigger version out there. But the performance is not the worst, it could be better. Mine's is hitting very soft, but I do like the Big Shock. It did have really cool mods to it. You could make it shoot multiple ammo types, Rival, Elite, Ultra, and this was one of the cheapest, if not the cheapest Mega Blaster you could buy. So I put the Big Shock in B tier. The plastic hole is very nice, keyhole is very smooth, loading it is very simple. It works, I've got storage up top here. I think it's B tier. 2018 was 100% the worst year for Mega. One of the offerings was not very compelling, not very exciting, but this is the best one, but it's still not really good by any terms of the imagination. This is the Nerf Mega Tri-Break, and the reason why this is super useless is that. Now, it's fun. Click it open, pop it like that. That's really much all it has to offer in terms of fun value, because the grip, I mean, it's not the worst, but it's definitely not super comfortable. Probably one of the worst grips in the Mega series. It is a keyhole with 3 darts in the Smarty Eyes system. Of course, Smarty Eyes being the first shot firing the hardest, middle shot firing okay, and the bottom shot firing the weakest. Pop that closed. And fire does have good performance. You can fire it with the brake barrel open and you do get a bit better performance. But even with that, I think this blaster is just very underwhelming. It could have been a 3-shot shotgun. Break action, maybe mega shells. I mean, it's just not very good. I don't know. I'm picking between C or D tier. It's definitely not S. 100% not. It's not great, not A tier. I don't even think it's above average. I don't think it's B tier. I'm choosing between C or D because it works, it does what it's supposed to do, but like, what is this gimmick have to offer that's just, a lot of people just gravitate towards a Magnus or a Cyclone Shock or just a better Mega Series blaster. I think this is C. It does work well, the performance is okay, the Smutty Eyes are reliable, so I think the Tri-Break is middle of the road. If you enjoy it, you know what you're expecting, then yeah, pick it up, but I think, not really. So all the Mega Blasters we've covered so far on this tier list, even some of the ones that are not too good, like the Tri-Break, do at least work and do what they're supposed to do. This next blaster is a blaster that holds such a special place in my heart. I have a lot of history with this thing. I was so excited for it. I loved it and had so much fun with it despite of its issues. But I think this is the one blaster where the Mega line just... this is gonna be a hard one to talk about. This next one is the last Mega Blaster in the line, the second Flywheel Mega Blaster, and it's semi-automatic. Everybody knows what this thing is. Everybody was excited. A lot of people liked it, but also so many people were vindicated, and I'm going to explain some of the reasons why. This is probably going to be the longest one we're going to talk about. This is the Nerf Mega Moto Strike. This is a 2020 release out of Hasbro, flywheel semi-auto, magazine fed with a 10-dart magazine. It's basically the Mega Strike. My excitement was through the roof. I did not even care. I watched Coop's video of the Toy Fair. He said the trigger was so smooth. And then I watched his review. He said it was terrible. The trigger mechanism destroyed everything, but at the same time, I just really wanted to pick it up. I did not care. I was super excited. I saw so many reviews. I saw Drax's review. I saw Wacom's review. A lot of people had varied opinions. This day, November 20th, 2020, one of my favorite days of 2020. That year was rough. These were my two favorite days. November 2nd, because that was when my amazing sister was born, Layla. She is the best thing ever. She's currently 5 years old. Oh, you want to say hi? Join in the video. This was 2020's best thing to offer for me. And then, November 20th, 2020. It was an awesome Friday. I got home from school. We had a couple of appointments. And then we went to Walmart. We did not care how good or bad the blasters were. We just had a fun time picking up some stuff. My brother picked up some Alpha Strike packs. I know a lot of people don't like them. I personally love them because of those memories. They came with a ton of darts, a ton of blasters. The value was there, but the blasters themselves were not great. He even got the Nerf Elite 2.0 Warden. We both did not know how bad the Warden was, but that Warden at the time worked for like a year, and it broke after a bit. And of course, I picked up the Mega Moto Strike. The blaster included instructions, magazine, 10 Nerf Mega Darts. It takes 4 C batteries to operate. It was so fun. My trigger worked perfectly out of the box. Super smooth, super nice, but I could tell it was definitely not as good as the models at the Toy Fair. Now my C batteries are very low, but I'm still going to see if I can fire this thing, get a couple of rounds out of it. That did not stay back in its position. Yeah, I know that. That's what the motors and the batteries are sounding like right now. This thing needs new batteries. This thing looks so good. The shell is fantastic. It feels fantastic. This main grip could be a bit bigger, but it's very comfortable for me. This foregrip is amazing. It reminds me a lot of the Nerf Elite 2.0 Turbine, which I got that thing a couple of months after this thing, and those were my two favorite blasters back then. This stock reminds me of the Long Shot. It's the worst rev trigger I ever got my hands on. I can just hold it to it like this and it compensates, but this rev trigger is just, it's the worst. It's not clicky, it's very mushy, it's not good. The mag release, it's okay. Thank God it's not inside the grip guard. It's okay, but it's very fiddly. It's definitely a plastic spring. All these triggers are plastic springs. A lot of models say that this trigger spring was so weak that after you push it back to fire dart, it would not return to its forward position, meaning that you had to manually flick it forward. That is inexcusable for a flywheeler. Not only that, it is basically like you're gambling. You don't know if you're going to get a good one or a bad one, because the one that I got 3 of these. I got one in 2020. It worked perfectly fine. The trigger was fantastic. And I got one for Christmas in 2023. I used high-tip Mega Darts. That was my fault. Flywheels broke. You know, it did not work after a couple of days. The trigger model was not good. I had to magazine fully loaded, and it had the exact same issues as a lot of people were talking about. And then I got this thing thrifted last year in 2025 in July, and the trigger is fantastic. You don't know what you're gonna get. But this thing also has other issues, such as the fact that the variations between the flywheels and motors and shots is not great. When you rapid fire it, the performance is gonna decrease. These flywheels are not meant to shoot mega darts, and it cannot really withstand this thing has potential to do. I really wanted to put this thing in S tier or A tier. It had so much potential, and it really heartbreaks me that this is the one that they ended the Mega Series with, because spoiler alert, the Twin Shock is my favorite blaster out of the Mega Series. But personally, this is my favorite Mega Blaster. This is one of my favorite blasters of all time, but I have to be objective and speak for other people. This blaster is not C tier. This thing is D tier. Because stock, this is very unusable. If you get one that works, great. I'm not really good at modding or mechanics. I wish I was, because if I would 100% make this thing a beast. But D tier, D tier. But after that super sad, depressing disappointment of a blaster, we're back, baby! This is the Nerf Mega Twin Shock from 2017. I got this thing before my birthday in 2021. It was a surprise on Thursday, October 28th. And ever since then, October 28th has been a very fun day for me no matter what. I love October 28th. But my birthday is October 29th, and if you want to know, my favorite birthday of all time was October 29th, 2022. Or 2016 or 17. Those days were so memorable. But October 29th, 2022 was a Saturday. And fun fact, we will not have a Saturday on my birthday until 2033. Yeah, that day was super special. But the Twin Shock is a pump action rough cut 10-shot Smart AR blaster with a 2-stage trigger, or you can half pull to fire one shot at a time, or it has slam fire. The prime is super smooth. You can fire once, have trigger pull. Okay, usually my Smart ARs are not that bad, but my darts are not the greatest. This blaster is just... I think some problems about it is it's too big, it's too wide, you know, it's definitely meant to be a secondary, but it's just going to be a lot of mass banging into you. It's going to be very sloppy in the wind. 10 shots is definitely too little for a primary, but this thing is just so much fun to use. I don't think it's meant to be a professional blaster. It's meant to be a basement room cleaner. This prime is buttery smooth, by the way. It's one of my favorite primes of all time. No grit, no, it is straight back, straight forward, straight shot. It is absolutely amazing. It is super responsive. The grip is not the best, but it is quite good. The foregrip is really good. It works just as well. The Smart ARs on mine are really good. It's just, if you have worn darts, or say, you know, you've done stairs tests, or, you know, you might have some problems with Smart ARs like tests, but I was debating between A tier or S tier. I don't know if it's very impractical. It's very big, but at the same time, this thing is just super fun. It works so well. The mechanics are awesome. It's a mega rough cut. They gave us an actual shotgun. I like the double breach. I think the Mega Twin Shock is absolutely S tier. First times I've ever had those Smart ARs. Let's try that again. Single shots. I'm not even joking. This is, ever since I got it, this has been my favorite blaster of all time. Number 1. I was originally going to have this blaster placed at S tier, but after a lot of long thinking, I'm gonna go ahead and move this thing down to A tier. The next blaster I got that's on the list is the Nerf Mega Double Breach, which this is also a 2017 release out of Hasbro, which came before the 20 Shock. And this blaster is just very deceptive. You prime it back and you open up a breach. You put 2 darts in there, push it forward, and you're ready to fire. You just repeat that process. For some reason it also has slam fire. The performance is not bad in this segment. Ergonomics are quite nice. This grip is definitely not great due to this super useless finger choils here. I think it's a bit too small, but it's not too bad. This is one of the best pump grips I've ever got my hands on. The prime itself is buttery smooth. It is super nice. It's very fun to dry fire. It feels very satisfying. Slam fire feels very nice. It's just, they could have implemented awesome stuff into a much more practical blaster, because this is only going to appeal to 5% of the Nerfers. If you really like this breaching system, if you like to conserve your shots, yeah, I 100% get that. But they gave us an actual Mega Shotgun after the 20 Shock, and there's a lot worse blasters, so I don't even think this is that bad. I mean, when I think of blasters that are D tier, I think of blasters that they're not the absolute worst. They have potential, but they don't really work that well. When I think of blasters in C tier, I think they're middle of the road. They do what they're supposed to do, but they're either very deceptive or just don't really have that big of a place in the hobby. I think the Double Breach is C tier. It does what it's supposed to do very well, but it just misses the mark by having this breach loading system and just being very, it looks super cool. It looks like a sawed-off shotgun. C tier. On our mega journey, the next blaster I got after the Double Breach was the Roto Fury. I think the Roto Fury is one of, if not one of the greatest Mega Blasters in the entire line. The Roto Fury is a pump-action 10-round cylinder-fed Mega Blaster with slam fire. It came out in 2015 along with the Cyclone Shock and the Big Shock. I almost said Hot Shock. This blaster is just fantastic. Yeah, sure, it's not perfect. When you rotate the cylinder, it really feels like it wants to break, but it does not. The Megalodon also kind of feels like that too, but you can't remove the drum. This is not removable, but wow, what a blaster. The prime smoothness is not too bad. It's a little grungy, but it works. Performance. Rounds, that is really good capacity for a Mega Blaster, and just, you hear that when you dry fire it? That feels good, especially when slam firing. It looks really good. It does look a little untraditional compared to other blasters, but it works. The grip is very comfortable. It feels less slanted than a lot of other blasters, but still, it works. This pump grip is really good. I do like the shotgun style pump grips a lot more. This still feels fantastic in my opinion. Once again, it's very smooth to operate. Just the only issue I find with this blaster is don't really have to do that often, so it doesn't really detract from me all that much. I don't only just speak for this thing subjectively, but objectively, I think this blaster is S tier. It does everything you wanted to do in the Mega Blaster. It's not super gimmicky or anything, but there's very few practical blasters in the Mega series, and it is still super duper fun to use. And slam fire, yeah, this is one of 2 blasters that have slam fire. This and the Megalodon. And I think both of those are S tier. Well done, Roto Fury. Continuing our Nerf Mega tier list to the journey near the end, we have the first Mega Blaster that came out. This was the next one I got. This is the Nerf Mega Centurion, and this is a magazine-fed sniper rifle bolt action blaster, which actually, this thing was horribly received. Everybody hated it. A lot of people did not like it, and I 100% get why. It's very long. It's reverse plunger, which was the biggest deal breaker. Modifying this thing was a lot harder than it needed to be. But let's just talk about it stock-wise. This prime is so long, but it is buttery smooth, super satisfying, and very nice. And the performance is really good for a Mega Dart Blaster. It performs a little bit higher than the Mega Standard. And as you hear, when you fire this blaster, it is extremely satisfying. The internal slam back due to its abilities of being reverse plungered. It really makes you feel like a sniper. Just this thing did not come with a scope, which sucks because even if it did not come with its own unique scope, the red long shot scope would look absolutely amazing on this thing. I think this blaster looks fantastic. Everything's painted on both sides. It is very comfortable to use. This grip is very good. It might be a little too thick, but for my big hands, it works really well. The bolt action's nice. You got a couple tactical rails. The magazine release is way too far in my opinion, but it works. You can just take your offhand. Well, this is not the Centurion magazine, but this is 6 rounds. It did come with a 6-round magazine, just a bit slanted. I currently don't have mine right now. And as you notice, you don't prime the blaster back and then put the magazine in. No, you actually have it primed forward. That's how you can tell it's reverse plunger. Because reverse plunger means that the internals are basically functioning backwards. This is open, and then when you prime it back, the plunger closes. Which if this was not reverse plungered, it would be the exact opposite. The insertion is also very nice as well. I don't think this blaster is that bad. Stop. I just think the biggest problem is the fact that it's reverse plunger, but also it's super cool because firing it is super satisfying. It's really cool how this thing goes. And yeah. I mean, mine's working. A lot of people said they had jamming problems, but not really me. I definitely don't think it's B tier, F tier. I think it's way better than that. I'm picking between C or B because I get why people don't like this thing. It's slow, it's not very practical, but at the same time, the Mega Series is not meant to be practical. If you want a practical Mega Blaster, then why not just pick up the Roto Fury or the Megalodon? I'm gonna put this Centurion in B tier. It was definitely way too overhated. Just because Poop772 hated this blaster doesn't mean you need to follow and formulate his opinion all around. So, you know, the Centurion, B tier. Not all Mega Blasters could be created equally, and some of them did not really feel as compelling or as great, and the Nerf Mega AccuStrike Thunderhawk is 100% here to prove that. Now, I don't think it's the worst thing ever. It just wastes a lot of potential. This is a clip fed, which is not the biggest problem. I actually like the clips. You know, they're kind of unique to me, and they're kind of funky, but they are fun to use. You know, for me, my sister likes them. They look like harmonicas, and I do like those. But I think it's way too massive for being a 10-round clip. There's a lot of wasted space. This whole thing here is just a lot of wasted space.
Just stop
this
pressing
is a
random
bolt
buttons
action. Indexes the clip, 10 rounds, and it's a 2018 release along with the tri-break. So yeah, when I meant by 2018 was the worst year for Mega, I really mean 2018 was the worst year for Mega. You fire it like so, and this is surprisingly, when this thing shoots unnecessarily hard, yeah, this thing is thrifted, so it's definitely not in the best condition when it comes to indexing the clip. And there we go. This clip was not meant to be removable, as I said, but you can just do that. Like, literally. If it's not as easy to pull out, just... The grip is okay, but it's definitely not great. This bipod here, it's not the worst. It's actually at a pretty good angle for long distance shots, but yeah, I just have that up for most of the time. I think it looks okay. Okay, this part, this back looks amazing. I love this, but this front, I don't really get this. And the biggest disappointment is they say this was the longest Nerf blaster at the time. Well, that is true, but kind of false, because instead of actually doing something cool, they just did that. And that would be cool if it actually increased performance, but no, it does not. And it's a friction fit, so you can very easily... I didn't really have any problems with the darts hitting the sides or just hitting the plastic, but that could potentially happen, especially when you're using standard Mega Darts instead of AccuStrike ones. Yes, it is a AccuStrike blaster. This was the first one to come out. The Thunderhawk came out 2018, the Bulldog came out 2019, and the Talon, which was the best one, came out in 2020. The bolt action very nice and smooth. Well, if you have the clip out and you're not indexing it, because yeah, it's a little clunky and janky when you have the clip in there, but it's not the worst thing ever. I do like it subjectively. I like every Mega Blaster subjectively for most of the time. It's just, I need to speak objectively here. This blaster is just, it's definitely not S, A, B. I don't even think it's C tier, because wow, it does work okay. It's just, yeah, I think this blaster goes up there in D tier. Now, if you do like the Battle Scout, if you kind of like the Deploy, if you like the Centurion, this is basically all three of those blasters in one. And I don't even think the Centurion and Deploy are that bad. I think they're actually kind of good for what they are stock. The Battle Scout's terrible, but yeah, I'm gonna put this blaster in D tier. Yeah, I just don't think it's really good, but hey, it does work. If you do like it, you know, say you found this thing thrifted like I do, give it a shot. I do have quite a bit of enjoyability with it, but objectively, it's just not good, guys. It's kind of a rough one. But that is the 2018 Nerf Mega AccuStrike Thunderhawk. Sometimes I keep calling this thing the Alpha Hawk. There is a blaster called the Alpha Hawk. Alright, there we go. One more. This is definitely not the end of the Nerf Mega tier list, but this is the last blaster that I have. You know, I have 14, I need 3 more to go, and we will talk about these 3 after this quite shortly. But the final one is the Nerf Mega Thunderbow. Now, the Thunderbow is not bad at all. I think the Thunderbow is actually really cool for what it is, because it might be a bow style and not a lot of people like bows. This blaster is different, and it's pretty sweet. The Thunderbow is a 5-shot Smarty Art system Mega Dart blaster that's gargantuan for what it is. I think that's one of the biggest cons, as cool as it is. Yeah, I immediately don't think this blaster is S tier for a few reasons, but what you do is you pull back on the string, and it actually primes a spring back. You can either let it go like an actual bow, or you could just hold the string, but slowly. Yeah, there's actually a catch on this blaster that engages, making it feel like you're using a bow, but also a blaster at the same time, which is, it's a bit hard to aim. It's not that bad, you can get pretty effective at it. Very fun. This is one of the hardest shooting Mega Blasters in the line. This is punching pretty hard. I think this is, wow, it's very surprising. And unlike the other model, which came out 2 years later, the Lightning Bow, it is actually very fun to use it like a bow. The bow arms actually move back. It looks really good as a bow. The string is quite durable, as long as you don't yank too hard on it or just quite break it. The grip is quite comfortable. Of course, there's no trigger, it's a bow action, but the capacity is a little too low for how big this thing is. But I think the Thunderbow is worthy of A tier. One of the only Nerf bows that's very enjoyable. It works like a blaster, it works like a bow. You can use it in multiple ways. It's one of the hardest shooting Mega Blasters out there. It's very reliable as a smarty arse. The Thunderbow is A tier. Definitely. What a great way to end the Mega Blasters tier list. Well, at least the ones that I got, because we still got 3 more to go. I don't even know which one I'm gonna get next, but my prediction is the next one I'm gonna thrift is the Nerf Mega Hot Shock. The next one is the Nerf Mega Bulldog, and hopefully this is the last one, the Nerf Mega Lightning Bow. Oh, you know what? We're just gonna go with the Lightning Bow first, because I think the Lightning Bow is worthy of F tier. I think this is the only Turbo Mega Blaster in the series. It is single shot bow action. It doesn't have the cool things like the Thunderbow. It's single shot, way worse big shock. The intended grip when you hold it, then you pull it back and then let it go. The little piece of plastic slams into your hand. It feels very uncomfortable. I don't like the Lightning Bow at all. I'm sorry if you like this thing, but this is bad. Maybe I'll get one and I'll be like, hey, I'll enjoy it. I will probably enjoy it. This is my F, 100%. But that is a Lightning Bow. A piece of garbage that I might actually enjoy. But then we have the Nerf Mega Hot Shock. The Lightning Bow is a 2016 release out of Hasbro that released in the same year as the Mastodon, and the same one that I'm about to talk about right now. The Nerf Mega Hot Shock. It's basically a Mega Big Shock, but it's in line. I like the Hot Shock. I think the Hot Shock is pretty cool. I think it's in the same tier as the Big Shock. It does have a big plunger tube, quite a bit of modability. At the same time, I think I'm actually going to put the Hot Shock in A tier because, no, I just like the inline more. I think objectively it is a better blaster. Out of all these blasters I'm talking about, the Hot Shock is 100% the one that I'm the most excited to pick up. The Hot Shock, I think it's quite good. I think just the fact that it has a huge plunger tube and you can modify it, it makes it worthy of A tier. You can do a lot of cool things. Make it shoot different ammo types. And then the Bulldog is the last AccuStrike blaster. This thing came out in 2019. And yeah, this is the second best out of the Nerf Mega AccuStrike line, but it isn't saying much. It is a 3-round blaster that pulls from the back, and you can fire it through 3-shot smart arrows. It's not that bad. It's basically a Mega Deploy. It has some deployable gimmicks with the stock goes back and the foregrip folds up and down. I think it's okay. No, it's not great. I think it's very underwhelming. It could have been a shotgun, though. Maybe it could have more capacity. I'm going to put the Bulldog in C tier. You know, it does have dart storage. It does functionally work, but you can do better. Yeah, I think it's there with the tri-break. And yeah, that is pretty much the entire list. I hope y'all enjoyed it. This was a long one, but it was very fun to make. But that's okay if you didn't. Leave a like, leave a dislike, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want on this channel. I don't mind because once again, I don't do this for reviews. I don't do this for likes. I don't do this for fame. I do it because I enjoy it. I love the community. And I want to keep on making these. If this video does not do well, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to keep it up because I had a blast doing this. But have a wonderful Thursday, everybody, and I will see y'all in the next one. As always, say it, Layla.
Keep on nerfing.
Hey, you got it. First time you said that. Keep on nerfing, everybody. Mega all the way. Woo!